Yowzers. That's about the only thing that I can say that comes to mind. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show, and today I need to explain myself. Hell, I don't even know what to begin this with. I usually like to begin it based upon what I think the title of the video is going to be, and I'm not sure what the title is going to be just yet. I made a mistake with yesterday's video. Oh my God, what was I thinking with yesterday's video? Something like that. I didn't have all the facts. I tried to find them. But anyways, I'm not going to make any excuse. Let me stop. Because there I go, starting off saying something that I'm going to end up doing the exact opposite of, which is something that people had mentioned about yesterday's video. So let me try to do this different. I want to follow up from yesterday's video talking about the Robert Brooks prisoner who was unalived in New York while in prison serving his sentence. A lot that I want to talk about in relation to this video. I need you to know that this is not a clout chase. And let me go ahead and deep dive that with you guys real quick first. Yesterday's video was titled, "What Happened to Prisoner Robert Brooks in New York?" That video did better than any video as of late in the first 24 hours. I'm sure you guys have seen that. Did over 20,000 views. Yesterday evening, after the video was uploaded, I noticed pretty quickly that that video was getting quite a bit of buzz. It was bringing in a lot of people who guaranteed don't even watch After Prison Show, obviously based on the statistical numbers, given how that video performed in relation to others. But I want to share this with y'all as I begin this video. Like I said, this is not a clout grab. I had that video uploaded and ready to go probably at like 3 o'clock to be made public at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The video was demonetized from jump. And I kind of figured that it would be. Of course, I tried to appeal it with very little hope that that video would get monetized. Hey, I need those $4 that a 20,000 view video for me would have made. So let me reiterate the fact that the video was demonetized, and here's the proof right here. That little yellow money sign with the limited right beside it. Well, Joe, it's not demonetized, it's just limited. No, that really means that it's not going to make anything. A video like that, which would, if it was green lighted, could have yielded me like $4, will probably end up making me like 50 cents. Well, look at you, Joe. You're doing it for the money. Hey, this is what I do. I do social media. So let me go ahead and check that box real quick. But anyways, sharing that with you, there's some important things to mention in relation to that. Obviously, by 5 o'clock yesterday evening when I made the video live, it was still a yellow dollar sign, meaning I wasn't going to make any money really off of the video. We're talking pennies here. But I still decided to run with the video because I didn't care. It was an important topic that needed to be addressed. I wanted to offer my 2 cents on it. And boy, were my 2 cents misconstrued. Probably in relation a little bit to myself. We'll talk about that. The way that I say things and word things, sometimes they don't come across the right way. More on that. The big reason why I'm sharing with you and pounding in the demonetized issue on this is because I want to myth buster something real quick. You know, when a video is yellow money signed, that means limited to no ads, but it also tells you that YouTube is not going to recommend that video like it would a regular monetized video. But I want to share with you this graphic that also shows that the #1 source of traffic for that video was from YouTube recommendation. So YouTube, what are you actually doing? Speaking all of these things about the platform, I'm quite certain I can expect the same for this particular video. But it is important that I do this particular video, again, for no sense of clout. But I really want to go further with things that I said and things that people also shared with me in the comments section. A lot of people went in on me for things that I said in the video. Some of the things that I said were misinterpreted. I'm going to share some comments with you guys in this video that were posed, more information that was made known to me based on some comments. But one comment that I can't find right this second, and it was this. Somebody said that I said the family was in on the death of Robert Brooks and that I was sick for saying such a thing and that they were unsubscribing immediately because of that. That is not what I said. I had to go back and watch the video because I was like, did I say that? I know I didn't. I did say, I wonder if the family of Robert Brooks was involved throughout his incarceration. I think that they just heard me say, I wonder if the family of Robert Brooks was involved, and they immediately jumped to that conclusion. But I'll wear that because I feel like sometimes I don't get my words out correctly. Look, this is not for me to be trying to make a bunch of excuses. It may come across that way. Forgive me if it does. Also, we gained a lot of subscribers yesterday as well, but it's not really probably so much based on that video. Maybe it is, but we do have other videos that are picking up currently, so that's good. Like I said, from the comments of that video, things would be made known to me that I didn't know prior. I had made a statement in the video yesterday that posing hypotheticals in terms of what potentially led to Robert Brooks ending up down in medical, going through what he went through that would ultimately lead to his death. I shouldn't have done that because I didn't know. But people would give me a little bit more information in the comments section saying things like this. They shoved his own socks down his throat. Stop making excuses for those evil corrections officers. You're absolutely right if what I said came across as I was making excuses for them. That's not what I was trying to do. If you don't know me, you're probably not here watching this follow-up video. Maybe you are if you were only here from yesterday's video. I wasn't trying to make excuses for them. I did not know they were stuffing his own socks down his throat. That is horrible. Like I said, I didn't know what ultimately led to him getting down there, and I was just assuming the worst way that I could say that is probably what it seems like to some people who watched the video. Here's another one where I really want to address this. This person says, they quoted me as saying, I don't mean to bring race into this. And that's exactly what I did. There was another comment where somebody said that I said, and they quoted me as saying this, I don't want to, where are the words at this morning? I don't want to hypothesize, or I don't want to make assumptions as to what could have led to him being down there. And that's what I did. So I do take note of those errors that I have made, and I will work hard to try to not do that anymore. So let me try to clean it up from yesterday, especially the first part where I was quoted as saying, I don't mean to bring race into this. Let me start over here today and share with you. That is exactly what I'm going to do. I want to bring race into this. I think yesterday I was just being a little too PC. I want to bring race into this because ultimately it's always about race, no matter what it is. He's got a white lawyer. Where is Benjamin Crump, the black guy? He was a black prisoner. Doesn't matter what he was serving time for. You're absolutely right. But in the video yesterday, when I'm speaking on what happened to Robert Brooks, prisoner in New York, hey, I'm just laying out all the facts. Don't really care if you like it or not. I don't agree with what happened to this man at all. You're right. It doesn't matter what he was locked up for. He was serving his time, as somebody else would put in all caps. He didn't have a death sentence they would put in all caps. I literally said that in yesterday's video, but maybe they didn't make it to that point in the video. To get back on the race card real quick, everything in this world is race. Make no mistake about it. That's the way that I see it. And I'm not saying I see everything as black and white or black versus white or vice versa. It's just the way that I perceive the world to be. And it is sad that a black man lost his life due to the evil doings of these probably mostly white correctional officers and staff. Somebody had made a comment and said, well, they weren't all white. There was a black guy or two in there. I don't know. I didn't even really look. I didn't count. 1, 2, 3, 4 white guys, 1 black guy. Like, I didn't do none of that. I just assumed, and that's not good neither. But yeah, it is always all about race, so I definitely meant to address that. I do find interest in the fact that he does have a white lawyer. I wonder if she was cheaper than Benjamin Crump. I don't know. There I go. Guesstimating. Shouldn't do that. This person left an interesting comment that provided a little more perspective for me. I want to share that with you. They said he had just arrived at the prison after transfer. A nurse and officer that were supervisors stood and watched. That's how you get 14 fired. Yeah, I didn't know that at all. So he had just gotten transferred to the prison. Forgive me, alarms going off here. I might speculate a little bit. Are you telling me that as soon as he got transferred, they hogtied him and then took him down to medical to unalive him? Horrible situation. The man should have never lost his life. I agree with that fully. I said that for the second time in yesterday's video, that he was not serving a life sentence. I did speak on what he was locked up for. I got crucified for doing so. Joe, it doesn't even matter. You're right. It doesn't. I was just crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's. I try to do that. What happened? This is a rhetorical question because I don't know. Maybe you know, and if you do, comment down below because I am very interested in learning more about this situation. What happened if he was just transferred to the prison from the time that he was until the time he was hogtied and being taken down to medical, where all of that tragic, unfortunate stuff that would cost him his life took place? I don't know. Has there been any reports of that? I don't have this particular comment, and I want to share it here or summarize it a little bit, but one or maybe a few people said that it sounded like I was being condescending in my approach and delivery of the story. It probably sounds that way here today too, and I apologize for that. It's just the way I talk. Sometimes I do get worked up behind this. I had also mentioned in the beginning of the video how it was a very tragic holiday season in the penal system, with what took place with Robert Brooks, and then on Christmas Day, how a prison guard lost his life as well. People went in on me for even bringing that up. Look, everybody's got an opinion on this situation. I understand fully that this is a very emotionally charged story right now. People are, I'm seeing on TikTok the rallies outside of the courthouse or wherever they're at, rallying for this guy, and it was unjust what happened to him. I had also made mention of the fact that the family is going to get paid. How much? They're going to get millions. Were they involved with him? You know, a part of his life serving this 12-year prison sentence. I'm interested in that. I'm a Rubik's Cube when it comes to the thought process. Like, it's kind of all over the place. And it takes a lot of moves and turns to get to the point sometimes, and forgive me for that or don't. But these are the things that I find interest in. Again, you know, the pinned comment was me saying, hey, look, this is a topic that I feel like we should address. I just want to offer my 2 cents. Take it or leave it. But I was curious and still am curious if his family, father and brother, were a part of his journey throughout incarceration, or were they just coming back into the picture at this point? Joe, it doesn't even matter. You're right. Probably shouldn't continue to harp on it. How much money you think they got? Probably shouldn't continue to harp on it. Somebody did leave a comment and said that his father was a prominent figure. Well, I feel like that's probably going to intensify the fight for justice. What type of justice comes from this? 2 types. Those guards, or some guards, end up going to prison. Others get charged. Maybe those charges get dropped or reduced. But that's going to be something they got to live with for the rest of their life. I also made mention in yesterday's video about how this whole world is just content to just sit back and watch. Film. Do nothing. Seems like what was taking place in that medical area when Robert Brooks was getting killed. But 2 things are definitely going to come from this. Some or all of those guards are going to end up going to prison. I feel like, and I could be wrong, they're going to make an example out of these dudes. They will be martyrs. Maybe that's a horrible way to say it. Just sounded smart. And the family's going to get paid. You've got the Attorney General, I believe is who it is. Who's the woman? Yeah, the New York Attorney General, Letitia James. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing her name. Or Letitia James. Getting involved, saying, you know, hey, justice is coming down the pike. I read comments about people's views involving her. Everybody's got an opinion. I don't know who she is. I don't know anything about her, so I won't speak on that. I try not to speak on things that I don't know about, but in yesterday's video, I most certainly did. I made some clerical errors, saying things that could have happened that weren't the case as more evidence comes out. Let's talk more about this, though. The incident took place on December the 9th. It was reported by December the 10th that Robert Brooks was dead, but that could have easily been on December the 9th, and they just released that on December the 10th. And it was on December, I believe, the 16th that the Attorney General released the body cam footage. 6 days later, they also say that the body cam footage is heavily redacted. I don't exactly know what redacted means, but I believe that means shit's been deleted, removed. I see videos where you can clear as day see the officers, their faces. I see other videos where their faces are blurred. Why? I don't feel like they should be. Their identity should not be protected. I'm not on the side of these officers, which some people in the comments question whether I was. Lest us not forget, I too served 7 years in prison. I too saw my fair share of injustices while I was locked up. Not maybe particularly toward me, and if they were so minor and minute that it didn't amount to much, but involving others. Nowhere to the degree of something like this. I'm probably doing myself no favors still continuing to address all of this, right? Is this just coming across as gasoline on the fire? I hate to say it like this. I don't care. I just try to keep it real. And maybe sometimes I don't keep it real by saying things like, I'm not trying to make this all about race, and then I go down that rabbit hole. I'm not trying to pose any hypothesis or hypotheticals, but then I go right down that rabbit hole. I need to work on that. I do try to keep it as real and as funky with y'all as possible. I'm also trying to pride myself on speaking the things that maybe others won't speak. None of what was done to this man was called for. It doesn't matter his charge. I fully agree with that. I don't regret mentioning it in yesterday's video. I was just laying everything out on the table as it was. And I also stated that in yesterday's video too, I believe. God, I hope I did. That it doesn't matter what he's locked up for. This should have never happened. He wasn't serving a death sentence. He should have never lost his life, especially at the hands of the guards, whose job, amongst other things, is to protect the inmate population, not to be the biggest part of the problem, which it seems like is taking place, especially at this Mercy prison in New York. Somebody had made a comment and said that that was a mental prison, like a prison for people with mental and medical issues. I don't know that. That was a comment that I read. If I'm wrong about that, forgive me. But we also shared yesterday that, this has been an ongoing situation, especially involving a few of the guards who were involved in the Robert Brooks situation. And it should have never gotten to this point. Why did it take the Attorney General 6 days to release this footage? Did it take 6 days to edit it? To make it look a certain, if this was heavily redacted, what we've seen, imagine what the original video looks like. Why is police and correctional officer body cam footage not immediately recording audio and video all the time? Why is it not running constantly? All of these, because there were other comments that also mentioned the body cams. Oh, Joe, they're Axon body cams, and you got to do this and do that. But if you don't do this, it still does that. Forget all of that. I'm not going, I don't care. That is the stupidest shit that I've ever heard of. Police, correctional officers, and other jobs involving potential power trip where loss of life can occur. Body cams should be worn 24/7 that record, for the entirety of the shift, that record audio and video continuously. I don't give a damn if you got to go to the bathroom. And that would probably be the number one, reason why they wouldn't. Well, Joe, what if he's got to take a shit? Record it. Hey, it's what you signed up for. It's how I feel. Look, I don't regret the information that I shared in the video yesterday addressing the Robert Brooks tragedy. It is that. Some of my delivery was incorrect. I do wear that. I hope that justice is served in this situation. But you know as well as I do, no justice is going to bring this guy back. Somebody had said he only had about 4 years left to serve. I don't know if that's true or not. That was just a comment that I read. The fact, as I see it, is this. No matter what happens in this situation, if a couple of the guards, let's just say best case scenario, everybody involved in this gets a life sentence. All 14 people, life sentence, family gets $15 million. I think that would be the absolute best case scenario that would come from this, right? That would be justice served. But still, that could be perceived as still not good enough. What's going to prevent this from happening again? I don't want to see shit like this happen to a guy in prison. Look, I need to go ahead and wrap this up. Like I said, I don't regret anything that I had shared in yesterday's video. I wanted to certainly offer my 2 cents on the situation. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to like what I said. Like I said, it's just my 2 cents. I do apologize for my delivery at times. And this is not the first time that I've been crucified over my delivery. Totally different situation that's not even worth mentioning here because it's so irrelevant and mundane in comparison to the gravity and severity of what happened to Robert Brooks. So I need to work on that. Thank you if you've made it this far in this video for allowing me to elaborate. Joe, that's just a fancy word for excuses. Probably. Thank you if you've made it this far in this video for me to offer up my excuses, if that's how you view them. I do hope that justice is served for Robert Brooks. What happened to him should not happen to anybody. He didn't deserve that. He was not serving a death penalty sentence. He was going to have another chance at freedom. I leave you with that. Thank you for allowing me to share. Hey, look, that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this video some kind of a way, and if you did, please leave a like and a comment on this, letting me know exactly what you thought about this. And as always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day. Peace!